Hello.
Oh, hello.
And welcome to the Comic Queens podcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Annie, and today we are joined with an extremely special guest. You may know her from the creation of the webcomic Made of Stardust on Webtoon, which is currently end of season 1 with 53 episodes. But we are so happy to welcome Kalisami to the podcast.
Yay!
Hello. How are you?
Hey there, nice to meet you. Thank you so much for bringing me here.
We are so excited to meet you. We love your comic. We've been obsessed with it. And
Yes.
we're just so excited to talk to you.
It feels like a dream. So today we have a lot of questions that we are really excited to ask. But I think first thing on our mind is, how did you get started in making your webcomics?
First of all, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for all of this. I actually didn't know there were webcomics back then. I start by uploading my Sonic the Hedgehog stories on DeviantArt. Mostly Sonami and medieval romantic fantasy themes. I loved telling stories for my friends who were fans, and then I discovered the community and began creating for them. From there, I started developing new stories.
Oh my gosh. I used to be on DeviantArt all the time.
Yes.
Just for admiration. I make no art myself whatsoever. But I am so excited to hear about where you began, because that is very different to think about between Made of Stardust now and Sonic the Hedgehog art, which is also beautiful in its own way.
Yeah, really in common, right?
I know. I now want to go back and look at this art because I'm so curious.
My icon is still there. My old art, my old Sonic, all the things are there still.
Oh my gosh.
Hidden archive.
Yes, I'm going to have to look at everything.
Sure.
This is amazing.
Oh my gosh. So it sounds like you've made a lot of fan art. We've also seen some Legend of Zelda and Inuyasha. I don't know that one. That one Annie put down. What's your favorite to do?
Yes, I adore them. I grew up with those fandoms. My favorite are definitely Zelda and Link, as well as Hall and Sophie. I had many more, and I'd love to draw even more in the future. And I know I will discover many new favorites too, but for now, those two are my top ones. And if I can add one more, also the characters from my own comic, though I won't choose a side so I don't spoil anything.
I love that you love to draw Howl and Sophie from Howl's Moving Castle, if anyone is unfamiliar. But I feel like there are so many parallels between your characters. They're not the exact same, but just in composition, those characters can be very similar, like the feathers on Howl and the scales on the dragon. That is so interesting to see kind of how they all come together to be somewhat similar.
Yeah, I think it's like the inspiration or the style that others make inspires you to make art.
I love it so much. Where do you feel like your inspiration from Made of Stardust really started or came from?
That's a good question, a very deep one. It's definitely a long process. Everything begins with having a clear script, which I work on together with my sister right now. We define the scenes, what will be revealed in that chapter, the idea for the settings, and whether we need design work like outfits or new characters. And once all that is set, I start sketching on the storyboard based on the script, and I get a lot of inspiration from dreams, movies, Pinterest, and medieval stories for both poses and environments. After I finish the storyboard, my sister and I review it together to confirm everything feels right. Then I create a production schedule with my assistants, and I handle the first pass. I do the essential liners such as faces, hair, difficult backgrounds, and panel layout. Then I pass the rest to my assistants so they can help with line art, base colors, and backgrounds. Then they send it back and I finish with blush, shadows, lighting, and more details. And after that, another assistant helped me organize the files, some effects, layers, and final touches. Finally, my sister reviews each strip to make sure everything is correct. And then it's really ready to upload. So the whole process usually takes about 12 or 40 days. My assistants used to help with shading too, but we changed the workflow to try more optimal methods.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh. 12 to 40 days.
Yeah, sorry if it was a lot of, of speaking.
No.
It's so interesting to hear your process and hear how it works and like how much detail and time and effort and love go into all of these is something that I feel like Annie and I both love about webcomics, and it's part of the reason why we're so obsessed with them is you can just see people's passions in their projects, so it's always so great to hear about.
Yeah, I mean, just in thinking about it, 12 to 40 days to complete like one of the episodes start to finish. I mean, it's so interesting. A lot of readers don't take into consideration like why long breaks are necessary and what grueling hours you're working. And it's so interesting to know, one, how many people go into the creation of this, but also just the time and effort and the love that go into it. It has to be something you're passionate about to put that effort in. How is it working with your sister? I'm curious because I love my sister and that sounds like a dream.
I love my sister too. Both have a lot of skills. Like both love to draw a lot, love the same things like Zelda, like the same movies. She's really, really good writing. It's like the perfect combination. So working together is like being the rain and the plants in the same time. Like we holistic work together and we are creating something like we love, like we have a lot of inspiration. When we finish this someday, this will be like a really beautiful memory to both of us.
It's so beautiful to share together. Was Made of Stardust your first webcomic idea or your first original character concept? Or were there others that have come before them?
No. Before Made of Stardust, I created a webcomic called The Black Key, which was my most official webcomic during my teenage years. I learned so much from that comic, narrative, line art, translation. So it was my very first approach to making a full story, along with my first mistakes. But I feel I grew a lot because of it. My focus back then was still fantasy, but more medieval and Victorian, and very connected to butterflies.
Oh my gosh. Is this on DeviantArt also?
Actually, yes.
Oh my gosh.
We will be doing some digging later.
I know.
Yeah, I'm very shy with that comic because, as I said, it's a webcomic with a lot of mistakes. It was made with black and white techniques. I didn't use a lot of colors and panels or the webtoon format. So you will see if you search for it, The Black Key. But yes, it's still in DeviantArt or online actually. And there's a lot of fan art there, or in my old art, you can find the main characters when I used to draw in semi-realistic style. You can find a lot of fan art from that story, actually.
Very cool.
I can't wait to read this. I think it's always important to see where you started and where you grew from. I know we've read quite a few different stories from creators, and there are so many stark differences between art style and narrative from their first stories to their most recent stories. But it's so nice to see the growth and to see those like first passion projects, because even if it's not perfect, it's what got you to the point you are now. Which, I mean, truly, just to hear that it's in black and white even is such a stark difference from the beautiful, rich colors that you're using in Made of Stardust.
Thank you. Yes, you feel so proud at the end because you see all the way you go through to today. So it's really great to see. So don't erase your old drawings. It's a beautiful memory for you to remember where you started.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love that. We were wondering, who are the hardest and easiest characters for you to draw?
Well, the hardest are definitely the male characters. They usually have lots of ornaments, armor, or muscles. Mm-hmm. So I always try to make them as handsome as possible because I enjoy drawing them. Yes,
it definitely worked. They're all beautiful.
Yeah. Yes, every single character is beautiful.
Perfect, it works. And the easiest will be the baby dragons like Lumi.
I love the dragons so much. Lumi is the cutest, and I love all of the little faces. Just seeing their emotions are adorable.
Oh, I love them too. We do have an affinity for chibis and little adorable characters. I know there is in a specific episode of yours. It's not seen as anything probably but background, but when they're at the festival in Seredia, they have sheep.
Yeah.
In one of the panels, and I have an attachment to them. I love them so much.
Yes, I love that scene. And you will see Lumi more in the next season. Yeah.
Yes. Gosh, yes. Spoilers, but I'm so excited.
Oops.
So to kind of change gears, I know that you not only create Made of Stardust, but you are also an exclusive artist for the Lightlark series by Alex Aster. How is it different for you to create art for the series that you're writing versus one that is written by somebody else?
I think the main difference is that each creator has their own world, very defined. It's like having my own kingdom. And then one day Alex invites me into hers. So I get to explore it and paint scenes in a sketchbook. Then we each keep a painting of that sketch hanging on the wall of our own castles.
I love it.
Such a good description.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
It's so interesting because I'm sure that Alex feels that her characters have been brought to life. But I know that the working together on the design, like Alex has ideas in her head. And so I'd imagine that to get it just right, it takes time to get acquainted with, as you said, her kingdom that she's built as well.
Yeah, and actually, because I know my own world so well, I can understand how it contrasts with Alex, and that makes it beautiful. We both share elements like fantasy, magic, dragons, but the character, stories, worlds, and names are different, so that makes them unique. Most of the time, Alex gives me the directions and the scenes of what she wants, often based on scenes from her books. What I bring from my own work, colors, textures, romance, and my art style.
So cool.
It's so cool.
Thank you.
So when you're not creating webcomics, what other things do you like to do?
I usually like going for walks in areas with lots of trees, taking care of my plants, watching a show, drinking a nice hot matcha late, playing video games, or having outdoor drawing sessions with watercolors and inspiring music. And I also love going out with my friends. And that's all. I actually have many ways to relax.
That's good.
It sounds like you do need them. It's a very busy process. What specific shows are you watching right now?
Right now, well, it's very funny because I see a lot of shows right now, like Bridgerton or Outlander, Breaking Bad.
Oh, yes. I'm not caught up on Bridgerton, so no spoilers.
Also, Frieren.
Frieren.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. You're staring at me.
I don't know what that one is.
Alex doesn't know Frieren. It's an anime, and it's beautiful. It's tragic.
So I would love it, I'm sure.
It's about an elf, and they're in almost a D&D-esque party, but they fight monsters and go on quests together. And it's about how when the quests end, time passes so slowly for her because she can live to 900 whatever years old.
Yeah.
And the human life, so other people who are like mages, for example, don't live as long. So she sees all these people age and they leave her life.
Aw.
And so it's about finding happiness in the moment. It is beautiful.
Yeah, really beautiful. I recommend to watch it.
Yeah, I'll have to watch that.
Yes.
Yes.
I love that show. I mean, among many others, but it's very funny to hear Bridgerton and Outlander next to Breaking Bad because they're very different.
Yeah, that's why I said it was really weird.
It's so good, though. I know my sister has watched all of it, and I think she really liked it. My husband watched some as well, so maybe I have to pick it back up once I'm caught up on my shows.
Yeah.
I'm very not caught up on my shows.
I said that I am watching a lot of things because I actually finished watching them. I still waiting for the next season, like Boticari.
Oh, the Apothecary Diaries?
Yes.
Me too.
Yeah.
If there are any Jinshi influences in Made of Stardust, I will be very happy.
I love plants, so maybe.
I know. That would be amazing crossover. Oh my goodness. There are a lot of shows on hiatus as well.
Yeah.
So I understand. It's always hard to wait. I know that your webcomic is currently end of season 1 and that season 2 is supposed to be the last season. So do you have plans for other webcomics after this? Do you plan to take breaks once this is all done to process and relive in the moment?
Honestly, because of how time consuming a webcomic is, I think I will take a break. But I have to admit, I always loved telling stories. So maybe one day I'll feel inspired to start another. But only under more optimal circumstances or opportunities.
Have you considered writing a novel?
Well, I don't know. I always like to tell stories by drawing. I don't know what I will be doing in the next years. It's a maybe.
Well, we have one final question for you. So we are dying to know, what webcomics do you read or would you recommend to us to read?
Okay, good question. I read several, so some I haven't finished because of lack of time, but I can recommend Hooky because it has beautiful art, backgrounds, and a very, very lovely story. And the next one will be Suitor Armor, a deep story, magical, and it have a dark plot. Also, Raíces de Corazón is very cozy and heartfelt. Also, freaking romance. I couldn't stop reading it. And Siren's Lament. I'm very fond on this one.
Oh my gosh. It sounds like you have very similar taste to us already.
Yes.
I know I have read and own all of Hooky, and I absolutely adore Medium's art style and storytelling. And I've even had my son read it as well because it's such a good story. But I know Alex has read Siren's Lament already.
I have. I love Siren's Lament. And I own freaking Romance and Suitor Armor, but I haven't read it yet. So that's on my to-do list.
Yes, it's a must.
Yes, absolutely. I am curious, are there any plans for Made of Stardust to get a print release? Or would you ever consider?
Yeah, I consider to someday doing it. Maybe soon, I don't know. First, I am planning to finish the second seasons, and then I will worry about how we do after that. So yeah, I'm considering that, but later.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just know that I would love to go back and read it and support. Like, obviously you have your Patreon, and so I know Alex is up on there as well, but it is always so nice to be able to look back on it and have it physically as well. So
thank you.
As a small little side, we did see that in the last episode of Made of Stardust, you asked the fans and the readers a few questions of your own. And Alex and I thought that we should tell you our feelings about some of that as well. So I know you asked what your favorite part of the season was.
Oh, that's a really, really, really good question. I think the moment when Kalisa and Aaron dance together the first time in Seredia, all was warm and full of colors and a lot of flowers there. It was a moment like I could hear the silence between them, but the happiness, the peace for a moment. So I think that moment.
That was a beautiful moment.
I love them. I also said that my favorite was the festival in Seredia just because it is absolutely gorgeous. All of the flowers. I know Kalisa's outfit was also my favorite.
Oh,
just
yes.
being adorned with the flower crown and
Yeah.
everything else. And I'll just ignore the fact that the heartbreaking scenes come after.
I actually have a different favorite moment. Mine is when Kalisa finds out that her memories have been tampered with. It was just such a sinking feeling to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe everything I thought I knew was a lie.
Oh, yes.
Oh my gosh. What a twisted favorite moment.
Woo!
So sad.
Yeah. So epic.
I know. The other question is, what character stole your heart?
The first character that appears in my mind was Eileen, because we said goodbye to Eileen in the last season.
Yes.
So I think she broke my heart while I was drawing her. I couldn't in a felt panels to draw her or imagine the future I decide for her. So it was like, no, why? But I had to.
I know. I actually cried reading it, mostly because you can just feel the pain.
Yeah.
I mean, Bran was obviously just tormented with the fact that he lost her right next to him. And
yes.
Ian was also so devastated. And seeing the parallels in that moment of the funerals happening at the same time for the king and Eileen, it's so sad.
Oh, yes. Was heartbreaking.
It was very heartbreaking. So my character that stole my heart, I'm going to stick with my theme here and say Arenelle. Because even from the beginning, I was like, all right, maybe I just have a bad judge of character, but I like this guy.
I also said Aranel as
you?
well.
Look at us.
Interesting.
The thing about Aranel is just, it feels like none of this is what he wants. He doesn't really have a say.
Yeah.
And you see the manipulation and the venom that surrounds him. And my heart just bleeds for him.
I just feel so bad for him.
I don't think he realizes the depth of the darkness
That
around
surrounds
him.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like he has a choice.
Yeah.
Ugh. Just my heart, it just goes out to him so much.
I'm just smiling because I can't say anything. But
You can tell us. We won't tell anyone.
I want to say something, but at the same time, I can't say anything.
Oh no, we're on the edge of our seats.
I know. We'll just have to read. Which
Yes,
Yeah.
we will be.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, the last question isn't so much for you, but for Alex and I to give you our theories. But you did ask in the end of season 1, what do we think will happen in the second part of the story?
You go ahead and start. You are the theory gal.
I
of us
love
both.
making theories. I'm terrible at it. I don't know that I've ever gotten one right. So I do foresee Aaron and Kalisa ending up together. I think now that their communication is bridged and they're able to communicate, it's going to only help their relationship to grow. They are definitely connected in the past. And so now it's just Kalisa needs to find out everything in time. And I also think that Kalisa might return to be a star.
Yeah. I'm going the opposite. I think she's going to end up with Aranel and...
You did that just to be mean. Oh my gosh. I mean, I would love it either way.
Yeah.
I can say anything, so
We'll just have to wait.
yeah, just have to wait.
Well, that is all the questions we have for you today. Thank you so, so much for spending time with us, for indulging all of our different questions, and for giving us some really good ideas of other things that we can be reading.
It was a pleasure. Thank you so much for your passion and your time and all the love. It was a very funny time for me. So thank you so much for all of this.
The pleasure is honestly ours. And for anyone who's listening, if you have not already caught up on Made of Stardust, definitely make sure that you do so. It is such a phenomenal romantasy series on Webtoon, and you won't want to miss when it comes back for season 2 because it will definitely be an intense season. Thank you, Kalisami, for joining us, and thank you all for listening. We're looking forward to talking to you on the next one.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Thank you.